Welcome to Hockey Wiz Talks Podcast. Today I'll be talking about impact rookies and drafting goalies in fantasy hockey. In this podcast, I will discuss some rookies who may have a huge impact in fantasy this year, and I will also give some tips on drafting goalies as well. Impact rookies. Cole Sillinger. Cole Sillinger is slotted to be the first line center of Columbus right now, centering a line with Patrik Laine and Jakub Voracek. If Sillinger can stick on this line, it's not out of the possibility for him to have a 15-goal, 40-plus point rookie campaign. Cole Sillinger could be the missing piece on Columbus, a team that was in dire need of goal scoring, and he was the best pure goal scorer in the 2021 draft. William Eckland. William Eckland had a terrific preseason and is slotted to play a major role on the San Jose Sharks this season. He is slotted to play on the line with Logan Couture and Alexander Barabanov, as well as the first power play unit. Eckland could end up becoming a Rookie of the Year candidate. Lucas Raymond. Lucas Raymond will take the league by storm and could very well become a Rookie of the Year candidate. He is playing alongside Robbie Fabry and Pia Suter, and will eventually find himself on the second power play unit. While Raymond may have a bad plus-minus, it's not crazy to assume he could potentially get 40 points as a rookie. Moritz Cider. Moritz Cider has been hyped up to be one of the best prospects not playing in the NHL, and you can expect him to make an immediate impact for the Red Wings. It would not be shocking at all if Cider becomes the number one defenseman by the end of the year, with how weak Detroit is on defense. Some may worry about his plus-minus this year, but if you are playing in a dynasty or keeper league, definitely do not hesitate to draft him. Keiondre Miller. Keiondre Miller burst onto the scene at the end of last season for the New York Rangers, playing in a top 4 role and even getting some power play time. I expect Keiondre to have a solid rookie year since he's playing top 4 minutes and will see time on the Rangers' second power play unit. He is only worth owning in deep leagues at this moment. Jeremy Swayman. Jeremy Swayman will tandem with Linus Ullmark in goal for the Boston Bruins, and should be a solid option in fantasy this season. Swayman played tremendous down the stretch last season for the Bruins, and I would not be surprised if he managed to steal a lot of starts away from Ullmark. If Swayman has a good year in net, he will be in the running for the Calder Trophy. Swayman is worth owning in all leagues. And now a word from our sponsor. Check out my scouting blog at hockeywiz777scouting.com. Listen to my scouting blog podcast on anchor.fm/hockeywiz777scouting. Drafting goalies in fantasy hockey is a bit trickier this year than in prior years because the majority of teams are using tandems now. But if you are well prepared and know the goalies to get, you can still end up with goalies that are good enough to get the job done. If you don't want to use a high pick on a goalie, there are still plenty of workhorse caliber goalies that are available, such as UC Saros, Jordan Binnington, Jacob Markstrom, Thatcher Demko, Carter Hart, Tristan Jarry, and Mike Smith. These goalies will play a lot of games and should be solid goalies for you. When drafting goalies in tandem, you have to make sure you pick the goalies from a playoff team, otherwise your team won't do good. A popular tandem I would suggest is Spencer Knight and Sergei Bobrovsky. This is a great tandem because Florida is expected to be a good team this year. Another tandem you can choose is Jack Campbell and Peter Mrazek. Toronto should be a playoff team and would be a good option in point leagues. The Washington tandem of Ilya Samsonov and Vitek Vinnychuk would be good for a point league. However, they may not be a good option for head-to-head leagues because of their GAA and save percentage. Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman could very well be a winning tandem because Boston goalies are notorious for having great stats. You can't win fantasy hockey without a bit of risk. Some of the risky goalie picks are Philip Grubauer, Mackenzie Blackwood, Elvis Merzlikins, Alex Nedeljkovic, and John Gibson. These are great goalies, however, how well their team does this year is very questionable. That makes picking them in fantasy a big risk. Instead of gambling on high-risk goalies, sometimes it may be better to get a backup goalie who plays on a contending team. Goalies such as Pavel Francouz, Brian Elliott, and Laurent Brossoit play behind workhorse goalies on legit contenders, and every time they start, it will likely be against a bad team. Check out my hockey blog at hockeywiztalkshockey.blogspot.com. Follow me on Facebook and Instagram at hockeywiz777. My ideal goalie rotation would be either UC Saros or Jordan Binnington, the Boston tandem of Linus Ullmark and Jeremy Swayman, and Mike Smith. This rotation has a workhorse goalie in either UC Saros or Jordan Binnington, whichever one you like better, the Boston tandem until Tuukka Rask decides to return, and Mike Smith, who should have a solid year with the Oilers. Next, I will be talking about early fantasy hockey waiver wire pickups.